Note to Self podcast. Today we have our lovely LoveEd team and our nurse practitioner, Swe. Okay, so I'm Valeria. I am a student wellness ambassador at the Student Health Center, and this is my lovely co-host.
Hi everyone, my name is Andrea. I'm also a student wellness ambassador at Aluni.
Hi everyone, I am Jai. I'm a student wellness ambassador and I'm also a LoveEd ambassador.
And we have
Hi everyone, I'm Swe. I'm a nurse practitioner at Ohlone College Student Health Center.
Yay!
We're really excited, and we want to start off this episode with a check-in question.
Mm-hmm.
So, the question is, what type of contraception methods do you know, and have you seen it on campus?
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie, before coming into Aluni, like when I was in Aluni, I don't see like things on campus. But when I got to Aluni, kind of opened me up to like a lot of contraceptions. But the main thing that I see around camp or like in the health center is condoms or like short term things. Yeah. And like also because I'm just around at the health center, I do see like implants and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, before Loney, I hadn't, I was aware of, condoms and, the birth control pill, but I hadn't really seen them at my high school, and I remember there being, this survey of, whether they should promote those resources on campus. Some people think that it would promote, underage sex, but I remember, saying, there should be that available because kids are gonna do what they're gonna do.
Yes.
I think it's really, and I think it would be way more beneficial for those resources to be taught so that students know how to do it in a protective and healthy manner.
yes.
Interesting. I think from my experience, before Aloni, I do see because I study in Taiwan, and then I noticed that our campus we have vending machines to provide condoms,
That's nice.
which is free for students, and that's kind of I think kind of different compared to other places. That's my first impression about this. And then when I come to Aloni, of course I work at the health center, I get to know more about the options, and also to see the methods and also the models that we have.
I'm glad that you all share your experience. Because different high schools has different resources for students, and at Ohlone we try to make it as accessible to our students as possible. Even though we're a small clinic, whatever that we can offer, we'll let the students know. But if there is something long term that the students want, at least we have the resources about where the students can go, which we'll talk about in a later in this episode. So yeah,
I think that's all of these different answers were really good and kind of lead into why we're even talking about contraception. We all come from different backgrounds, and those different environments have different perspectives on contraception and sexual and reproductive health. So I think that's really good segue into our first topic. So who is someone who would need contraception, and who do you think will benefit from them, and why? That's a really good question.
That's a really good question. I think who's what?
Who is someone who would need who is someone who would need contraceptions?
Oh, and why?
Yes.
I feel like everybody okay, people who are because I know before this episode, even before I was educated by contraceptions or as a birth control, I already know that contraception is used for acne, just because one of my friends was prescribed by that, and then I did had a bad acne, but I try to avoid getting prescribed by that. But I feel girls who are hormonally, how do you say, their hormones are rising up as they mature, so they get the puberty stage and they get acne, and it's really bad. There's moderate and bad acne, and some people just really have bad acne. And I know if your acne stays for a year or so, if it doesn't really progress with the skincare that the clinic provides, you have to like take a birth control thing, or like a pill that is a birth control, but it's mainly used for, it's also used for acne. And I also feel like people who are sexually active, not only for safe sex but also to avoid like STI and HIV. So, yeah.
I think, like, if you were to ask this to, like, I know we're asking us right now, but if you were to ask, you know, maybe, like, anyone else, I don't want to say it like that, but, like, a big group of people, you would definitely get various different answers depending on the kind of, like, family dynamics you grew up in. A lot of families are much more traditional. A lot, the conversation of contraception and sexual health is very stigmatized or, like, very uncomfortable to have in, like, those environments. But I think for me, because I grew up in that kind of environment, I thought of like sexual relations only being for one purpose, which is like to like have it for families, to have family. But like as I like grew up, even just like in the media I consumed, and even being on the LoveEd team, I learned that that's not the only reason, and that shouldn't be like, oh, like this is only for this, because lots of like, as much as like it might be uncomfortable, like teenagers are gonna be curious, people are gonna like, even at that age people are getting into their first relationships, like I think it's very important that it's like not like I guess it's like promoted for everybody, for everybody, not just for avoiding pregnancy, but like for people who are single, teens, adults, anyone who wants to just have more control over their health in general.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think from my perspective, I think everyone should know about contraception, because I think that's kind of, for me, I see it as like an option or a choice for you to make. It's not like, you know, if you are sick that you need to go get that. It's more like based on your freedom to choose if you want to use that, because you are the person who know your body and your health the most, and you have it should be like free for everyone to choose what are the things that they can use or they want to use. So I think from this perspective, it's good for everyone to have the knowledge, and also for them to support the person or the people they love, they care about, so that they can share the knowledge or share the things, the options or resources.
I think I really like you made like a small comment of like what works for some people, because I feel like maybe some people who aren't as informed on the different like methods of contraception, maybe they just might know that there's a pill and then there's a condom. I think people being aware of like all of the methods is very beneficial, like because one form of contraception might actually not work with your body, and that is something that you should like.
Oh, I have that other option.
Yeah, and consulting with a provider is really important, in figuring out which method works best for you, especially when you do start to, you know, have like sexual relations with another person, like having that communication with the other person.
I like what all of you all said. I also believe that everybody should know about contraception, whether that person identify as a male or female or, you know, bisexual, because even if you're not the one using it, it's important for you to know the different methods so that you can support your partner. And like you all were saying, like contraception is not just for like pregnancy prevention, but there are other like use as well, as in for example, like a lot of students come and see me for irregular menses, and when I talk about, after I rule out like the medical underlying conditions, and after I talk to them about contraception, a lot of students are kind of looking at me weird because they're like, oh, I'm not sexually active, why what do you mean I need to be on contraception? So when I explain to them that, you know, it's about regulating your hormone, not just about pregnancy prevention, they kind of like understand what I was trying to say. So it's important for students to know that contraception is not just about pregnancy prevention, but also like regulating your menses, like Jai was saying, for some folks it can be for acne as well. So a lot of things to think about. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, everyone. I think we've kind of like set a base for this conversation, and I think another important subtopic I wanted to dive into was having personal boundaries and consent when engaging in intercourse with another person or persons. And that can sound different for everybody and look different for everybody. So what does consent sound and look like for you guys?
I think I want to share one, like my thoughts, like thinking process. So for me, coming from my cultural background, I think having like consent or setting boundaries, for me, first, it's kind of like rude and it's kind of like very aggressive, to set the boundaries, no matter it's like saying no or what. It's kind of like rude because we want to like be polite and, recessive. But then as I, educated and then feeling more fitting into the culture here, I feel like that's like another thing that I want to work on to respect other people and also myself. Yeah.
Wait, consent and boundaries in general? Or in like really
when you're engaging in intercourse with, or before that, I think that would have to be a conversation that you have with your partner or partners before engaging in
yeah.
What?
I feel like it is very crucial to have like a conversation with the person that, like, it for me it is very important that you talk before you actually do what you're gonna do, and like talk about like I'm not ready to do this, like no to say no, like don't just be like I don't know how to word my words out. Don't just be like, here I am, like even though you don't want to, but you're just like afraid to like hurt the person's feelings. You're like, it's okay. I'm going beyond my boundaries just so I would not hurt this person's feelings. Just so like this person would not think that I don't love like them or something like that. But like that's like what is kind of I see on like a lot of people that are doing, like just so they wouldn't hurt the partner, they wouldn't like be like in like they think it's kind of inappropriate, but like mainly consent and boundaries should be like normalized, and especially in like in our generation right now, you should like talk it out with your partner, like this is my line, and I don't want to cross this line because I'm not ready for this thing and that thing. And like if that person would be like straight up mad or like straight up, like, oh wait, I don't like your boundaries and consent, that is straight up disrespectful, not gonna lie. Like you better leave that one because like having a consent and having consent and boundaries is kind of like respecting the other person too. So like yeah, you can do it in the politest way. I would say like have those like deep conversations with the person.
I think this response can't just be very like one
Answer.
Like one answer, because there's various situations where this conversation should be had, because not everyone who is having intercourse is in a relationship with that partner, and sometimes sometimes things can just heat up in the moment, and there isn't really like a time where like, okay, wait, before we continue, let's have this conversation. So I think in that case it would be like not being afraid to speak up in the moment, like, okay, wait, actually let's stop for a second, and saying like whether you guys want to continue or like where these lines are before you continue, but before that, let's see, I was losing my train of thought because I was like, wait, as you were saying that, I was like, wait, not everyone is in a relationship when they do have intercourse, but I think asking yourself, even if you're not in a relationship right now or you're not planning on having intercourse with someone right now, just like with yourself, like think of like what if you were in that situation, what would work for you, what is comfortable for you, and even like I don't want to say rehearsing, but like because sometimes it is kind of uncomfortable or like it might feel uncomfortable and nerve-wracking to like wait, actually can we have this conversation, kind of just like rehearsing in your head of like what you want your partner or partners to know in advance, even just having like I don't know, because it can take a lot of courage, especially if it's your first time, or maybe it's not your first time, but still that's still like even right now like we all got a little nervous, we all like started nervously laughing, but it is a really like real conversation to be had, especially when we don't want to like we I don't want to say we both. Sorry, we want all the partners to enjoy the experience, yeah, and hopefully that is the way it goes. Having this conversation.
Yeah, and I like tying back to what Valeria said about like, not everybody who's actively having intercourse is their partner with. I don't know how to word things out. My English is so bad right now, but like yeah, and I mean like tying back to that is kind of like knowing how to control yourself. I'd say, like knowing the limit of yourself and like sticking to your principles and boundaries, even though it is kind of hard to do that on some situations, but like having that to yourself, I feel like
I think what you're trying to say is like knowing when to say no.
Yeah.
And even when you say yes at one point, that yes can change to no at any time.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to like communicate that with your partner. And also another thing that I want to add is if someone is like in an altered mental status, meaning like if someone is drunk, right? That whatever that person say, you cannot take that 100%. Like if that person says yes at the time that person is drunk, right?
Yeah.
Or not like in their state of mind, then that consent doesn't mean anything. So I also want to point that out as well.
That was a really good point. I thought we'd like it was almost like dismissed, but I think that's really important, especially because a lot of people who are engaging in intercourse are in that age where they are drinking, they are using, what is the substances like marijuana, so they are under the influence of something and can't therefore give consent or even have this conversation of like this is my boundaries and this is where I draw the line. So thank you for that. And then we can segue into talking about how contraceptions are more than just pills or condoms. There are long-term and short-term birth controls, and an example of a long-term contraceptive would be an IUD, and some short-term contraceptives that are more commonly known are the birth control pill and condoms. And we do have some models here to display to you guys because maybe some of you have not seen what they look like in the package or out of the package. And also, these are here offered at the Student Health Center. Like just to come and pick up. Like you don't even have to make an appointment. Except for the IUD.
Yes.
Except for the IUD.
I was like, girl.
And the O-pill.
Yeah.
Oh, we have O-pill now? Okay.
Yay! So I'll briefly like touch base about different things. So this is the most common type that you all may probably know. It's a external condom. So like the ambassadors were saying, this is available over the counter at the Student Health Center. So you can just stop by and grab some. And this one is known as the internal condom. Some folks call it female condom, but this is also available at the Student Health Center. What's really good about this is if you don't know how to use it, there's instruction at the back, but with pictures. So feel free to get some as you may need. It's also available over the counter for free for all our students at Ohlone. This is a type of pill. So With regards to pills, there are two different kinds. One is a combination pill. The other one is mini pill, or like only one hormone that is in the pill. So this is similar to mini pill because it only has progesterone in it, and it is available over the counter. And this pill was start available over the counter probably about 1 or 2 years ago. You can probably see it in CVS, Walgreens, Costco. But this is available for all our students, registered students, for free. You just need to schedule an appointment with a nurse practitioner so we can kind of talk to you about side effects and also if this may be the best option for you. One of the things that you have to really keep in mind is that you do have to take the pill the same time every single day. So that may not be the best method for some students, but it's an option for you. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So like, okay, so this one only targets one hormone, and then the other pills targets two hormones.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the big like? Okay, what happens if like there's the other one does not target the other one? Like,
yeah, so the other one has two hormones, estrogen and progesterone. So this one the main difference is about how it affects your period. So this one may make your period lighter and even make you not have period at all.
Oh, and then the other one with the two progesterone and estrogen.
Yeah, that one will make your period more regular, and also that one will also help with your acne as well.
Oh, that's
and
the one.
there is also a contraindication is that if someone has a history of migraine headache with aura or blood clots before, they cannot use the combination one because it has estrogen in it, which will make someone more likely to have blood clots, which can lead to stroke and heart attacks, things like that. So that's why it's very important if you are kind of taking hormones. It's best to just consult with a nurse practitioner or a provider so that they can talk about different side effects, options that may be good for you.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Like, just to educate the student and educate ourselves, like, would you say that like when it comes to like birth control and something, like the other one is better than the other one, or
No.
is it just the same?
I feel like the best one is the best one that will work best for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because for example, let's say I prescribe you a pill, right? If you cannot take it every day, it's not going to do anything for you, right? But if you are someone who is motivated and just wanna make sure have a control every day that they take something, then that may be the best option for you. So it really depends on like a personal choice. That's why how you always say in earlier, like everybody should know different types so that they can kind of make the best decision for themselves. Yeah.
How about the pink?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a demo of a model of an IUD, how it looks like. So basically, this is kind of like a mini procedure where as a provider needs to, put it inside the person's uterus. We only have models at the student health center, so we can like provide education for the students, but we do not do the procedures here. So if students come in and if this is the best option for that student, we do have resources where we can refer the students to either with their insurance or low cost, which
External.
yeah,
Institute.
exactly, which we will talk about later in this episode, I believe. Yeah.
Wait, I just want to share something about like the IUD and stuff. I'm really happy that like IUD is kind of getting famous on like TikTok right now. Like a lot of people share their experience of like IUDs, and like I'm really like happy every time like influencers uses their platforms to educate people when it comes to like reproductive health or like birth controls and stuff. It just means like the people who are like older kind of like putting the younger generation into this thing, so this would yeah, I hope you get what I mean. But like, yeah, IUD is kind of popular on TikTok right now.
I didn't know that. And there are different types of IUDs as well. If someone doesn't want to use any hormones, there is copper IUD. So that can be an option for that person. So yeah.
I remember that I learned from the lecture. We also have like options to do like surgery, like
Vasectomy.
and
Like
then
tying
also
the fallopian tubes.
tying the tubes. I think that's like permanent, right?
Yeah, those will be the permanent. Yeah.
Like
Okay.
like
That's a hysterectomy, right? Not a vasectomy.
There is something called like vasectomy, which is
Vasectomy.
like like how do I say it? Kind of like disrupting the flow of the sperm from the testicle to the urethra, the urethra, so that that person doesn't make sperms or ejaculate anymore. Mainly like not cannot can still ejaculate, but doesn't the sperm is not in
active.
the exactly. And then there's also tying the tubes, which is so that the eggs doesn't like get
Go out.
released.
But definitely, if you're considering that option, you will need to meet with the provider.
Yes.
And then meet with them to have a discussion
Yeah.
before you have like going through that procedure.
Because it's permanent.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Oh wait, I thought the vasectomy could be reversed.
Huh? What do you mean reverse?
Wait, maybe it's a different procedure. Is it not? Is it permanent?
It's
It's
permanent.
permanent.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, it's gotta be something else. I remember watching a show and there was an episode where the guy kept going back and forth.
Wait, was it what episode? What show is
It
that?
was.
Or is it a comedy?
It was.
Probably.
It was in the office.
Probably. Oh, okay.
In the office.
Interesting. But definitely, if
Okay,
you want to learn,
permanent.
if you want to learn more about that, definitely go through some legit resources like CDC.
Yeah, don't
Or
just
don't just like believing that. So yeah, definitely do some research. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now that we have a better understanding of what contraception is, let's focus on the how to access these resources around us. So, from your knowledge, what are some places that we can find these resources on campus or off campus?
On campus, of course, guys. The student health center, like, we got it all for you. No, like, seriously, like, every time I do a classroom presentation, we always, like, tell, like, I always share about, like, my LoveEd because I'm part of LoveEd, and, like, not everyone knows about LoveEd, so I, like, try to, like, tell them, like, oh, we offer this around campus, like, we offer reproductive services on campus, and another resource I have is like Planned Parenthood. Yeah.
Yes.
Which Swe will be talking more about in a bit. But yeah, just so you know, the Student Health Center is open for you guys. We do have a lot of like reproductive health services, and sometimes during tablings we do get like give out condoms to like students. I remember there's like a people who like got like lots of condoms during our tabling, which is like, oh, okay. Yeah. How about you guys?
I think again, the student health center for sure, and definitely wanting to keep promoting that. Like it might seem repetitive, but like I feel like we don't say it enough. Maybe is all of the resources and services available here at the student health center, especially if you don't have insurance or it's too expensive to get these resources outside of the student health center. Like we have a lot of over the counter medication. For free, like you can just walk in and grab what you need. Especially if maybe you might be uncomfortable, like you can just grab a condom and just dip. So I think that's really important. Student health center for sure, and Planned Parenthood.
For my perspective, I'm thinking for like international students because they're the population that they don't have access. Like maybe they're under they don't have insurance like a full coverage, which they will be limited on the resources that they can use. So I'm thinking about maybe if they don't have the time or if they don't have the options to come to the health center, they probably also can get the pills or other options through maybe like common stores like CVS and also Walgreens and Walmart. Probably they have like a section of over the counter, and you can go through that and then look for the options that you want to.
Yeah, and I know like CVS and stuff like have their like little pharmacy people like you could like do not hesitate to ask people around you for like help. And yeah, like I'm tying back to what Valeria said, like not all students know about the student health center offering these things. So as much as we can, we try to spread the word out there, but like still it's not enough. And like sometimes like people would like be ashamed to even come here and get condoms. Guys, do not worry. We do not look what you're getting in those drawers. Do not like worry that there's like a CCTV in front of the counter. And yeah, guys, like take everything you want. Yeah.
Thank you so much for promoting the student health center. Yeah, of course, like if you want to talk to a provider, I'm always here. Well, not always, but you all can make an appointment with me so that I can go over all the, different options. And I do want to share two resources. One is called bedsider.org. That's a website where you can just like do your own research, doesn't have to talk to anyone. And let's say like if you are interested in, let's say, IUD versus condom versus pill, you can kind of drop them into like 3 separate columns, and they will do like a comparison for you, so that you can kind of like look at what are the different side effects, how it affects your menses, how it affects your privacy, things like that, so that you all can be like more
aware.
Aware. And when you talk to the provider, you can just be like, okay, I'm thinking of these two options, like let's discuss, right? So that like you can the appointment with the provider can be like at your best interest. And then another resource is what you all have mentioned, which is Planned Parenthood, mainly because they do offer a lot of reproductive health services and different procedures like IUD, next but not insertions as well. And one good thing about them is they're part of something called Family Pact. Family Pact is a state-run program where they serve low-income population who are resident of California with reproductive health services. So if you qualify, they will help you get into the program so that all your reproductive health services can be free, not only for contraception but also like STI testing and things like that. So something that you all should be aware of, so that you all can utilize the services that the state offers.
Yeah.
Anything else to share?
No, I think it's really a good opportunity for students and also maybe faculty members and staff to listen to this episode and understand what we provided from like health center, and also like students are interested in. I think it's good to know, and then also it's very, I think I feel appreciated to have this opportunity to share and discuss about this topic. Yeah.
Me too. I feel like wait, what do I feel like? I feel like empowered because like
Empowered.
I get to educate people. I love my job, guys. I get to educate people about like contraception and like reproductive health and sexual education and sexual sex ed, and especially like I get to promote like the student health center like offering these things. And like then again, we keep on saying these things, but like don't really hesitate to come here because we are not like eyeing on you. Sometimes we don't even see students, we're just like doing our own stuff. So like I just feel like people are kind of shy to come here just because like, oh, I know this person, she works in here, and like I don't want to be like seen in this person. Like guys, we don't really like care. I mean, we care, like, but like we don't see all of you because we're all so busy. So yeah, like book an appointment with us. Like Swe is here every Monday, so
And all the services that we offer here are confidential.
yes, exactly.
Both physical and mental health.
Yes.
So we do keep privacy as our best. We try we will keep your privacy private.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, like Jai was saying, like it feels empowering to have this conversation, be able to have a platform to share the resources to students at Oluni, especially because it is sometimes a little bit uncomfortable, especially if like you're talking with people you don't know about this. But I think having that practice, like even just like sitting down with you guys right now, is like it is helping me like gain that confidence of like not being scared, especially during classroom presentations or during events. Like we've had LoveEd events where we've talked about contraception. So I think I think this is very beneficial.
Yay!
Okay. Then do we want to all share maybe one message for note to self for ourselves or the audience, and then we can close up today.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
You guys go first, because I'm still in the
You're
thinking
like,
process. Like I'm wrapping up all the cells in my brain.
One message.
Do you want to go? Or?
No, you go first.
So for me, I wrote down that contraception is about choice, control, and health, and everyone, no matter your age, no matter like background, deserves accurate information and access without shame or judgment.
Wow.
Wow.
That was like.
That's a
We'll
good
put that on the Instagram.
No.
Quote by Valeria, 2026. I didn't prepare that much for a go, but like, just know how to like, just for your like, again. Consent and boundary is important in life in general, whether you have like, you know, you're sexually active like and stuff like that, or like that's your partner, like know how to say no. And last thing is to not be ashamed of asking for like contraception tips, or like asking for information about contraception, because contraception is birth stopping birth is just part of contraception. There's like more benefits to contraception. So if we could like have a 2 hour whole thing, we would like talk about it, but like we have a limited time. But yeah, it goes beyond like just as a birth control.
I think my takeaway and note to self message would be awareness is the key to self-care and benefit others. And I think it's really important to have the curiosity about what are the things that provided to you, and also have the chance to support other with your knowledge.
Yes, that's right.
I think my last thing is, well, takeaway or conclusion is that it kind of resonates to how you all were saying knowledge is power, right? So don't be afraid to look things up. Don't be afraid to ask your peers or even your providers about, you know, the different methods and what may be the best for you, because it's your body, your choice, and you have the power to make the best decision for yourself. So thanks for inviting me to this episode and allowing to share.
And I wanted to add one more thing.
Okay.
Like giving yourself and others grace, because I feel like it's very easy to say like, or for us to share these resources and ask you to use them, but I think it's important to consider that people did grow up in different homes, different dynamics, and that conversation, like stuff that we brought up, that can take time for people to process or even just take into account. So I think being considerate of others, as you know, taking the information. Thank you everyone for listening.
Yay.